Oh, we have in Mexico one of the most amazing estuaries water resource on the Sea of Cortez and the Pacific Ocean as well. And I wonder why this resource is barely used for food source, and also the natural sunshine and solar energy supply is abundant. The lack of water or soil is not apparent to us who also do not see, or, or those who do see, the need to glut the resource available. Meaning that we don't have to glut the resources in order to really see the abundance. Therefore, we also have all the necessary resource of our spiritual and real journey, as well as all our other avenues or visible and invisible contacts with the golden guides or with our own being of light and all our bodies of creation manifestation. So I had this thought relation to other things. I've been studying a map which I shared with Val of the Americas. It's a PBS about the Mexican Peninsula, Baja, Sea of Cortez, and the mainland of Mexico that is bordered on the other side by the Gulf of Mexico. And that, by the way, that Gulf of Mexico is filled with 1,000 wells that have been drilled and are actively pumping oil, and also ore, as in 2010 when one blew up, Deepwater Horizon, as it was called, and I'm not sure the numbers, but let's say 10 days of continuous pollution of the Gulf, and consequential effects of all of this has been something to do with harm to the natural environment, and also affecting weather system, weather control operations related, and all of these other things that are environmental waste of resources. This includes also the psychic waste of resources, which we all are also involved with, and in whatever levels, and without any directed, persons or of any group or our group or whoever, not by not sharing mostly, and unifying without having to have a controlled model necessarily. That is, that we work as we are individual, but we're also in unity with all that is. And so there's an idea there. I was watching just now the award show called the SAG Actors and Lifetime Achievement Award for Jane Fonda, an actress who's been 65 years in the movies. And she's always been very outspoken and willful in her own regard, or rather in the larger regard as well. Not that she has any greater vision than any others, but she has shown the willingness. Included was the Vietnam War. Okay, so when she gave her speech of selection and collected her award, she went past the time where they wanted to have her stop speaking, and her sensibility was, you could see, is I'm going to just do what I need to do, and here it is. And she described the issues, not directly, but that she's been long-standing operating and demonstrating this in her own field. That is the model, being a model not just her sex symbol modeling, but her views of life and what is real and or important, and demonstrating it in various numerous roles. It's very impressive person, I think, and in that sense. At the end, she called out to the audience, basically to say that we're in a real dangerous moments here, and we need to get it, that it's right here now, and to activate our capacity and our willingness, etc. And but she also said that we need to look to our vision and or to see if what vision comes, or like something like that. But she was saying in her own right, I think somewhat without saying it outwardly, that she doesn't actually know the vision. She sees the old view of how when political or business activities become invasive or inclusive. She's had that around her whole life, and she used it, but also she got controlled by it and bought into all the issues of things that had happened, which really weren't supposed to happen. Generally speaking, they're not really the true experiences of the true reality life is. And so her picture is like all of ours, from her view and experience, and limited. Therefore, of course, and this is naturally it, as was mentioned earlier by Val's reading there, and Dwayne's outspoken direction, position, and so forth. So, okay, there's the controlled or related of everything with this, and you find this, we're finding it, that everything is like this mirror and or related simulated image that we all have or have our own view of, and this is basically what needs expanding or is constantly expanding, mostly, especially those people who do not expand it find themselves in a lockbox or avenues of limitation and or death, as it were. So they said with Jane that she's had at least 3 lives. She said she's now on her 3rd section of her life. And so there was youth and maturity and elderly maturity, those 3. But the speaker said that, or the introducer said about her as a woman, Julia Dreyfus, and she said, comedian, and she said that I think she's got 5. She's still going. And when she got up to speak, you could see how much strength she still has, and it's really something. She isn't stopping, and there isn't any really reason to use age or any of those other factors. And so that's one of the things that, is one of those subjects that people use to make movies. Okay, so the only thing else I wanted to say was about today. I kind of had some fun. We had a sunset yesterday, and it was kind of orangey in the sky. The air was like orangey. And I was standing next to this tree, which is the top of a tree that has come down and landed in our garden, or in our yard, and it looks like an ark, or you could say it looks like a boat with oars, or it also looks like it has wings. And it's very big, about 20 feet long. And we let it stay. You know, we didn't have it removed or do anything. It's just there. It's kind of cool. And I went out there and stood and waved my hand. And I have the other two cats. We just lost one of our cats. Um, the male cat that was always outside. It's gone. It probably was killed. I think it was dying when I last was with him. And so I could say in a way, they killed off another of our cats. We've had quite a few that, very incredible cats, really. One in particular is Pi. And that cat only lived a year, and it was killed probably by a neighborhood dog. And so in any case, you know, these stories, but I'm out there. I was Professor Cat Fun with the new you for a time, you know, having fun with that. And so we had me and the other two cats, and I said, we're the three cats who survived. And we're still, I mean, we're alive and survived. Yeah, so I had the picture, got a really nice picture of it. And but it's demonstrating something else late here, because we're each of us are prescients, as I call it. Not, you know, we could say you're a president or a precedent, meaning you're preceding our own experiences. At the same time, we're creating them and we're developing them, or we're developing our ability to be aware of the experiences that we've created or our life that we're living. And now, with no agenda, we can proceed like Jane Fonda with, she's needing a vision, I think. I think they all need a vision. The actors feel somewhat, some of them, not necessarily all of them, that they're being hard pressed or compacted and attacked because of the Hollywood fire and fires and so forth took out half of the beach properties in Malibu, etc., and so forth, because, well, something certainly has been doing this, and the same thing happened in Maui, Lahaina, etc., and also the hurricane that came through is three, in my view, and the hurricanes that came through where I am, three of them. So I sent the picture to my brother, and dealing with this cluelessness, he writes back to me and says, "What storm? Which one? You mean last fall?" You know, like, you know, he doesn't understand that it was somewhat of a major event. It practically knocked out all the trees in the entire county and other counties as well. It was really incredible. We left the night before the storm, the day before the storm came in. First storm, we didn't leave. And we said, we asked, or I did, or whatever. And there was the communication. There's no problem going to be here. You can stay. But the second time, we had, well, short story, we cut down the trees so that they wouldn't land on the house, but still we left, and left for 6 or 7 days until the power came back on after the storm. But the whole county is devastated in a way, and it looks like a dead zone. If you could say that. Of course, nature comes back, and all the trees that are down or broke. It's just, you know, another one of these bombs that they're, whoever, whatever, is working with, and mankind starting to realize that they are a vulnerable species, etc. And so what is the real threat that Jane Fonda was talking about, well, I don't think she really knows. And that's the thing about it. Um, uh, to think that could get help from the celebrities in the sense of what I might want to share with them or do, maybe I could, but not saying that that's the avenue of approach, although it's not a terrible idea to try and do something. And that's the main point about that. And so that's kind of the whole discussion or view that I wanted to just, I think, I mean, I didn't know exactly what I was going to say or do 5 minutes before the talk started. So that's it, though. That's a good thing. Spontaneity shows that the real action is on, and that's what you want to hold on to. That's it right there. I think I'm sharing it really well today. Thank you, Val.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah. Thanks.
Any comments from you Hollywood actors over there?
Well, I'm sure she knows what's going on. She may not want to express it all to the public. Jane Fonda, the actors know what's going on, you know.
She did play Barbarella.
Kind of, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I did want to give you an update and others about the hiking trail, since you were involved, but also others might be interested. You mentioned the Sea of Cortez, and one of the people I talked to yesterday encouraged me to include that on the trail, you know, the Sea of Cortez, especially if there's kayaking and stuff. There's good kayaking there. Of course, all the sea life there. So we will visit that edge there. The hiking trail is going to be from Campo to Cabo. Campo is in California, in the U.S. side, and we're going to go over to Mexico, and most of the trail will be in Mexico from Tecate to Cabo San Lucas. Another hiker friend, Scott, you know Peter, and I went to across yesterday to scout out the area, the beginning area of where the trail would be starting. We met a lot of people. We took 3 buses. We did 2 hitchhikes. We finally got there, and it's at the southern end of California. The starting point for one of the big trails, which is the Pacific Crest Trail, and there's a big monument there, and that's the start of the 2,600 mile trail north to Canada. But we're going to start our trail from the same place and go south. So we talked to people, and they're getting ready for hiker season, which officially starts March 1st. They are setting up, there's going to be a guy with an RV and some facilities for hikers, bathrooms, and even showers and tables and stuff, and tent camping area. So, and maps and information about what's going on. And one of the people I'm contacting with, who actually gave us a ride back to the border, is Andy Randy, and he's a former construction guy. He constructed part of the border wall, but he's involved in all the informed about what's going on there at the border. So he's a real good contact, and he's involved in helping us. He's really actually excited about helping us to create this hike and trail, because his idea is to bring a number of hiking trails through this area, this nexus, you know, this where the Pacific Crest Trail starts. So Baja Trail would start there, the new Sunrise Trail, and other trails too could come through there and kind of be a focal point. So he's participating in this too. But we had a good time just meeting a lot of people. And next week I'm going to go back up to actually hike from the border monument to Tecate, which is on the Mexican side. It's about 12 miles. You actually find a trail, you know. We could go through the along the border. There's the border patrol has a road that goes along the border, or a little bit inland to actually have a dirt trail. We'll see what happens with that. The border here, it seems, I mean, during the day, it seems fairly safe, even though I've heard lots of rumors about don't do it, don't do it. This is like, you know, you get shot, etc., etc. So we'll see. I think most of the action happens at night, border crossings. But it seemed pretty nice, and the people were open and you know, excited about the new season starting. So we'll be involved in that too, helping them, and also creating our own trail going south. It's a big project, but it's fun, and we can highlight and promote self-sufficient communities, and do the market and promote, you know, the little ranches and people that are doing something good for the planet. That's the idea of the trail. So that's an update on the new Sunrise Trail.